Full energy. Let's do this again.
Hello and welcome to another Woodshop podcast with Mike Coffey of Coffee Custom Builds. Daniel,
you better have a good one-liner, Petrie.
I'm working on it. I'll think of something by the end of the song.
You're channeling your inner idiot.
Welcome to episode 30 of another Woodshop podcast. 30. And I'm going to start by asking you the same question every single social media platform has been asking you for the last 2 weeks. Are you registered to vote?
Seriously, it's getting real annoying.
Yeah, it's getting
I'll clear it out and then it'll pop up the next time I log in.
Yeah, I voted. Relax.
Can I just say yes and they save it? I feel like that's an option they could give us.
Yeah, come on.
What is what's this voting you're talking about? I've never heard of it.
The
Omaha.
blissful state of Omaha.
Somewhere in middle
State of
America.
Omaha.
Whatever.
The state of Omaha.
It's
Welcome
its own country.
Yeah. Man, you're not going to pass the citizenship test there, Pete.
I got it by default off my parents. Hey, loophole.
Oh, loophole. Okay. Listen, we need to be very serious right now. And there's no time for jokes for the next 3 to 7 minutes. So
Impossible.
Dan, don't cut one loose on the show.
That's only pre-show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you keep it clean for the real show. Hey, our sponsor this week, it's the patrons. We don't have a sponsor this week. I mean, we do. It's the patrons, but there's no like brand sponsoring this week. And we're just really thankful for you guys. So thank you so much for sponsoring the show. We really do appreciate it. I probably should have brought up some information that I was about to read first before I started talking, but I didn't. So now I'm stalling, and it's not working very good because this page isn't loading.
Well, you'll know the page, but I'll say that, hey, the sponsors are great, but in reality, the reason we do it is you guys. So
yeah, that's true.
Thank you for being awesome patrons. You guys are helping us actually do this show every week, and we appreciate all of you. And
yeah, we're really, really appreciative of it, like very much.
Mike, I'm running out of appreciation. Is your page
loading? I know. I don't know what's going on with Patreon's website. It's really
Are you nervous?
Anyway, but hey, we got a few new patrons this week. It's literally still not loading. I don't know how this is possible. But really huge thank you to all our new patrons this week, which is Sean Marks. We got Nathan Logsden. We got Ken Ken Robertson. I could read the rest of his name. That'd be nice. And then Gavin Catt. So thank you to the 4 new patrons this week. Really, really, really do appreciate it so much. Oh gosh, the Makers 46 is kicked in big time.
We have been drinking.
Yeah, we've had.
Did you get Abel Dominguez? Did we get him last week?
Pretty sure he was last week, but if I didn't, Abel Dominguez.
Abel Dominguez, thank you.
Yeah,
let's give him another shout out.
You know what? I'm gonna read the whole list. Let's go. Here comes.
Let's go.
Oh, all of them?
No. Yeah,
all 12
some drinks. All 12. Hey, but no, seriously, big thank you to the patrons. We really do appreciate it very, very much. So, thank you. That's all I really have to say about that. I mean, we're gonna jump right into the show. I think this week. I think. Is there any other stuff we want to talk about?
Oh wait! Nope. Next week we're gonna be all together, and it's gonna be exciting. We're gonna record together.
That's really good. We should actually bring that up and kind of discuss how that's gonna go.
We're gonna talk about it on a bench, but I think this is the perfect time to bring it up.
Yeah, I mean, next week we got the Maker meetup. I mean, you guys are flying out to my house. We discussed it in the pre-show, but we got kind of it's gonna be a good time. I'm really, really looking forward to you guys coming out, like a lot.
Nothing gets my meetup like a meetup. Seriously, it's just great.
Oh,
was that
God.
the line?
That was a pre-show joke, not a show joke.
It was clean. It was clean.
It was not clean.
I don't know what just happened.
I am so stoked for next week. I'm so excited.
It really is going to be super fun. I can't wait to have you guys out there. It's cooling down. Next week, the temperature is going to be like a high of 72. I'm so stoked on that. I'm just really pumped on like cold temperatures, fire pit, hang out with you guys. It's going to be a really good time. And then the Maker meetup is going to be sick. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be
everyone crazy fun.
Everyone who's going, seriously though. I know this is like a bummer, but wear a mask. Seriously, wear a mask. We're gonna
first.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do it. But it's gonna be really great seeing everyone. It's just I'm just really looking forward to next week. So
okay, can I just say something?
No, Dan. I think
blows my mind. No, I'm just gonna say it. It blows my mind. Like our patrons are great. and the community is amazing. And the fact that there's people actually getting on a plane to come hang out with us for the day.
I can't even believe it.
There's like upwards of 2 people getting on a plane to come.
I
hang
know.
out
It's
with us.
mind-boggling.
I know.
said bottling.
I'm in a glass case of emotion over this.
Mind bottling.
No, I mean, I know Adam's coming out. Adam's Custom Builds. He's flying out.
Oh wow, cool.
Eric
Isn't Ty
Yoakum
coming
is.
out?
Yeah, Ty HGCAZ is flying
Yeah,
out.
He's coming out.
Eric Yoakum's driving out.
Damn.
I don't know who else. That's it, 3, but that's still pretty incredible. I mean, there might be others. If we don't know about them, please tell us you're coming, and we'll.
I'm coming from
Nothing.
Nebraska.
Right. That was.
Well, yeah.
Isn't that funny how this came together? We were just kind of like, you guys were going to come out and hang out and just have a good time, and now it became like a maker meetup. That's
Like a
pretty funny.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, it's going to be a good time. Really looking forward to that. So I'm just really looking forward to.
I just can't wait to help my best friend run plumbing. I know Dan feels the same. Dan feels the same.
Dan legit
100%.
is super bummed out that there's any work involved, but I know that Pete, you'll have a good time. So
I will. I was listening to one of the episodes and Dan was like, please get that done before I come out.
No, that's not. That doesn't sound like me at all. I don't know. What you're talking
28.3, 10 minutes in. That time stamp might be wrong.
You know what's cool though? In my shop though, there's music in both sides. It's gonna be a good time hanging out in the shop. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be nice and cool. I'll be able to wear a flannel again. I'm so excited about wearing flannels. I'm gonna get my Uggs on, get some PSL.
Pack.
It's gonna be amazing.
PSL.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah. It's what they drink out there.
I thought you said DSL, and I was like, "Oh, that
we have
sounds."
Not
we have
your
very
internet.
slow internet out here. No, it's gonna be a really good time. I'm really looking forward to it. So, but without further ado, I think we should jump into a little segment. It's a cornerstone of our show called "What's on My Bench."
What's up, my bitch?
Nope, you're fired.
Nope. Oh.
That wasn't me.
Let's
That
go to the
wasn't
end
me.
of the show. That wasn't me. You know what? And since Pete sung that, Dan, what's on your bench?
Ooh.
You guys will never believe what happened. I'm so pumped. I've been waiting for this day.
Oh, Kayla,
I
let you grow the beard
delivered.
out.
Don't take away my
Don't
sunshine.
take this from him, Pete. Come
He's
on.
not-
Come on.
Go ahead.
He's
I'm
worked
very excited
9
for
months to get to this point.
I delivered the walnut
baby.
desk, you guys.
You did it. I'm proud of
Did
you.
you
Dude.
did you see my? Was that not a mammoth thing? Like
It was a
It was
room.
It was big.
Room size.
I am
desk.
You delivered
So
their new
pumped.
bed, their new bunk beds to them.
oh my god, it is so massive. I am so pumped on that, and they were so happy.
Yeah, they looked happy.
I was
In fact, on your post, I said as long as the customers look happy, she went out of
Oh.
her way to say we are very happy. So
she
good for
like
you.
went to town on all the comments there. Like I saw
Really?
that
She
saw
was
that she
commenting on 'em.
replied to a lot of people. They're very very excited.
That's cool.
That's
uh,
cool.
And excited in fact that they want me to build like a bunch of other things. So we're in talks, and yeah, things are good.
Are those normal
That's-
size?
It was no, actually no.
No.
Nothing will be normal size with these.
But
folks.
you've got some better tools this time around.
I do have better tools. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the future, you guys. Things are looking great. I've been
Man,
on cloud
hear
9
that.
for like 2 days now since I delivered it.
It only took 42 years.
It's done.
What's that meme from Titanic? It only took 84 years. But yeah, it's so great to have that delivered. And today I started working on a barn door for
3, right?
yeah. Well, there's 3, but one at a time. Calm down.
Just
So I got together a barn door, and I think on Monday I need to go to another client's house and take some more measurements for the shower floor, the teak shower floor. I had measurements and I had them in my notes in my phone, but they've like disappeared. So I gotta be like, oh, I gotta come back and take a few more measurements, but actually I'm gonna
You're doing
take all the
of them?
measurement. So
I missed an
That's,
angle. All of them.
my bench is feeling a little lonely now that the walnut desk is gone.
That's
My
nice to have
wife
that
is
out of
super
there.
happy to
I
have the
bet.
living room back.
I bet.
You
I bet.
saw how
I
much
did.
room that
I
thing
did.
took up.
yeah.
I bet Kayla's pumped.
Oh, she's like, it's like a new house.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, we talked about this already, but can you take us through the delivery process? Just so people kind of get a ballpark idea of how
Contractions.
it went.
So my well, I waited till the client got to 10 centimeters dilated.
He couldn't even say a metric phrase. Centimeters.
Meters.
Did you measure?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I love the way you say measure. It literally makes my day every time I hear it.
Measure?
Yes.
Hot pockets.
So my client ordered a U-Haul that was by my house. So I just had to go pick it up by my house, and I had to get a friend help me load the desk onto the U-Haul. And he got the size of U-Haul that was the one that was like close to the most appropriate for the desk, but it ended up being like massively oversized. He got me like a 26-foot U-Haul.
For
it was
one
ridiculous.
desk.
One desk. So me and a buddy got it loaded up. Thank you, Alex, if you're listening to this.
He's not.
He does.
No.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I gotta stop the show. Dan said that 6 times tonight.
Yeah.
It's the booze.
He's drinking
Remember,
Budweiser
I was
Light.
listening back to the special episode, and you're talking about you own a Silverado, so you're kind of a
Silverado.
big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big
Got a
deal. I
tonneau
have a
cover.
Chevy Silverado.
I was just listening to that in the shop. So good. That's one of my favorite episodes.
That is our
Okay.
best episode ever,
Yeah.
I think.
So the client got a U-Haul, a 26-foot U-Haul, which is way too big. But we loaded it up the night before. I strapped everything down, padded it, everything. And I drove it to the client's house, which is like an hour drive from my house. And he had movers waiting for me to get there. Or they should have been waiting for me to get there, but I got there earlier. So like I got there
couldn't wait to get rid of it.
no, he was really excited, and I was really excited to get it delivered
for
too.
sure.
And
It's your biggest project to date.
I shot these folks' wedding back on New Year's Eve last year or the year before. So I knew them. Anyways, I was excited, so I got there a little early. And then the mover showed up, and they took everything in for me and him. Like I didn't have to do any work, which was great.
Dan's
because
favorite.
It really is. Which was great because like they have a big spiral staircase. You got to take all this stuff up into his office.
Holy.
That's like on an upper level. Yeah.
Oh,
I can't even imagine that desk going up a staircase.
Yeah. They took it up a big spiral staircase up in the main foyer. And yeah,
Foyer.
I'm glad that wasn't me. I can spell that word. So they took it into the room, and I had to put it together as they were bringing it in, and it all came together really well. And that was the first time in that room that I saw everything together as one. I've never seen it together as one. I just kind of like hoped and prayed that everything fit right.
Did it look
Because
like your napkin drawing?
I didn't have
it's
the
a half
space.
inch off. Oh no!
I didn't have the space in my house or my shop to put it all together as one. I just had to like, okay, this matches this and this matches this. So technically they should all match.
There's only 3 houses in Omaha that desk can fit in.
But yeah, it was quite the process, and I'm super pumped on it. And I really appreciate all the love that I got when I shared the final pictures. Oh, and I was super bummed because I didn't take my big fancy camera to take pictures. I didn't realize it until I was like 3/4 of the way there. I was like, son of a bee, I forgot my camera, because I had to remember to take all the tools and fasteners and everything to like put it together. And yeah, when I was already like 75% of the way there, I was like, oh man, I forgot the camera. So I'll take quote unquote proper pictures.
You're going back. And you'll see them filled with stuff too, which would be nice.
I'll take proper pictures, but I only got cell phone pictures. Anyway, that's probably my longest what's on my bench
Yeah. And that's our show this week, guys.
Solid
Next
8
week-
out of 4. That was a great what's on my
8 out of
bench.
4. We have
Pete.
watched this desk go from like a baby board.
I feel
to
like this
beautiful
desk has been like an internet like sensation. People know about it.
It has.
I posted the barn door today. I was like, "This is what I did today," and people were like, "Wait a minute, this is
Which part of the desk is this?
what is this?
Is that one of the drawer fronts?
Who is this? I'm not following you. Where'd you come from?"
Oh, actually,
Hi,
Dan,
it's
in
me.
the pre-show
Me,
question
Daniel
when somebody
Dunlap.
asked
I do pine stuff too every now and then.
Dan, when somebody asked that pre-show question about our biggest like lesson learned, I was thinking like, oh, yours should have been like, make sure you can get the hardware before you choose the depth.
Oh yes.
But the drawer slides you made were really nice.
They turned out good, but yeah, that was quite the
Yeah,
quite
that was
the
a
thing.
whole. That was like a month.
And
of
another
back
fun
and
thing,
forth,
my
too.
clients follow my Instagram pretty closely, so they saw the struggles, and they appreciated how I fixed it. They like my fix better than the metal slide. So
Nice. They look so good.
it all turned out good.
Nice.
Very happy about
Cool.
that. All right, Pete, tell me what's on your bench.
Well, a couple of things, Daniel. I started teaching
Thank you,
again
Pete,
last
yo.
Saturday. Yeah, thank you. We went a little heavy on our episode last week. And
Hold on. Dan-tastic.
Fantastic. Let's
I'm
work
sorry,
that into the
fantastic.
episode.
You're back to teaching.
Instead of saying I'm kind of a big deal, I just need you to work in fantastic everywhere.
Dan-tastic. So stupid.
That's going on the back of your shirt.
Yeah.
So we started teaching again last week. It was a little interesting teaching with a mask on because you're constantly having to speak. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Solid 8 out of 4. Get it?
Solid 8 out of 4. Yeah, 84.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Pete. I just had.
No, it's okay. It was a solid 8 out of 4 thing to show. But no, teaching was, listen, I have a whole new respect for Emma. She teaches every single day with a mask on in a studio, screaming over music. We got her a lavalier mic that she hooks up with, like a wireless one that she hooks up to we have a jam box, like a wireless speaker. So she's been bringing that to teach because she's coming back home with like a hoarse voice because she can only do so much. I like how Dan left in the middle of it. Yeah, thanks, Dan. How are you doing, Dan? Yeah, you're not there? Cool. All right. Every time I even lift my butt an inch off the seat, everyone goes off. Oh, hey, Dan, what's up? Welcome back.
Hey.
The other thing is, so there's teaching, whatever, all that. That was great. I'm teaching again tomorrow. The other thing, which is the biggest thing on my bench, which is not actually on my bench, is I officially am on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel.
You did it.
I have a video out. The video is actually apparently, according to everyone, not hot trash or garbage fire or whatever. It's apparently decent.
It's
At
number
least.
3 on trending.
Yeah. It's top 1
What?
million on
No, it's
videos.
Oh, what? That's amazing.
Mike was like, "What?"
That's incredible.
It's definitely it's top 5 videos I've ever made on YouTube. Definitely.
It's the top 5 that his grandma has seen.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she's not around anymore, Dan. Come on.
Oh,
No.
I'm sorry.
But my mom saw it. She was like, "Oh, what's that?" I was like, "That's the video we made for the thing." She's like, "Oh, that's nice." I'm like, "Thanks, Mom. You're terrible at this." So bad at support. She doesn't get it. But it was the last time I felt this kind of pressure. I put a lot of pressure on myself. I put it out in the universe. I made a bunch of stories about it. People legitimately like yelled at me, aside from these two fools, Mike and Dan. Like, people were yelling at me like, "Come on, get that video out. We want to see it." Like, oh, I was like, "Oh, well, this is pressure I don't need." Great. Now I'm stressing out. And then basically the day before, I got really bad food poisoning. And then as I recovered, I just sat down around like 5 or 6 and I went, "I'm knocking this out." I like turned off all the lights. I had my 2 screens in front of me. I have the mic on the boom now set up, which is actually amazing. I'm no longer recording in my shop. I'm in my living room. And I recorded all the voiceovers. I looked at my 15 minutes of raw audio or video that I had cut, started throwing it in there, editing stuff out. I finished with like a 9-minute video and it felt so freaking good. Is the first time since college that I felt like I was like finishing like a 30-page paper, where you're just like pounding away, like getting it done, and like, just, you know what, whatever. And Mike sent me a video a little while ago about redefining what you consider a finished product or finished video, where like you might not think it's finished, but you got to publish it, and it's a definition issue. So like I was just like, I just got to publish this. Like I thought of it as a deadline. I needed to get it out. I actually wrapped it up at 10 p.m. The night before I made it live. So very excited. Like
how it goes.
Yeah,
Proud of you, dude.
It was a really, really good video, and I think everybody that's listening needs to go watch it.
They should.
It
was a very good video.
And the best part is the community went nuts. So I posted it this morning at 6 a.m. I woke up accidentally for some reason at 6:30, so I did a little story. And weird. I love Instagram because I was just like, oh, check out my video, back to sleep. I woke up at 9 or just before 9 for work, and I realized my video didn't upload. It was like, oh, error uploading on Instagram. My favorite. So I posted it, and by that time, even though that story didn't go through, I already had like 24 people watch the video and a couple people sub.
It's basically viral.
Yeah, well, the best part is this is what I really wanted to hit. This was my goal because I really wanted to. I need to get into this. I needed to do it, and I said by the time we record the podcast, I need to have my custom domain. I need 100 subs, and I'm at like 130 right now. I'm so excited. I have my custom sub, youtube.com/Peaches Workshop, along with Daniel Dunlap Woodworks, and then my coffee custom builds, or coffee custom builds. I'm pointing at your squares like people are actually going to see this. So stupid. But anyways, I'm very excited. Thank you to everyone for the community that supported me. I know it's a really long-winded story. I'm super excited because this is a whole new level. Like I'm getting into YouTube now. I'm actually hooked. I want to keep doing this. That's
sorry, I shouldn't have texted you right in the
I'm
middle.
Sorry,
of Mike
texted me something, and it's a fire text.
It's fire, yeah.
WAP. All right.
That's a WAP. That's a WAP.
That's a WAP for this video.
And a mop.
Anyways, Mike, what's on your bench or giant CNC slab or bed, whatever?
CNC slab.
CNC bed.
I remember my first day talking about CNCs. No, this week has been, like Pete said, just learning my CNC slab.
Learning this annoying spam call from California every 30 minutes.
It's me calling Pete a lot. I called Pete. I've been calling Bao over at Design Craft a lot.
You don't call me. That's so weird.
So
anyways,
I had 2
I love
orders.
that you call me too. It's great.
That's not how you made it sound a second ago. But anyway,
I really do.
No, I had 3 orders this week, and I got them all done today. Doesn't matter what they are. It's boring stuff. It's from my normal sales stuff from my website, or from Etsy actually. 2 were from Etsy. 1 was from my website.
You're big on Etsy.
Etsy's working, dude. It's picking up.
It's not. I've had 5 sales on their total. It's just not working for me like it is for you. 5 is nothing. But I'm gonna keep it up.
Keep building.
Yeah, as I get more, every time I get a sale, I get more favorites of my store, and then people inquiring about, can you make this size? And I'm like, yeah, for sure I can. Money, please.
I got a CNC, don't you know?
Yeah. So, but this week I got those orders done, which felt good because I've been in real disarray in my shop. I'm still not done putting my shop together. Really hoping that when the boys come out, we can kind of just knock it out. I think we'll be able to knock it out in about a day.
Can I hire somebody to do my part?
Yeah, that's fine. So hopefully I can knock that out. It won't take very long. I just got to get the plumbing for the dust collection. I mean, I could do that by myself, but since the guys are there, we can just have drinks and hang out and do that. It'll take no time.
What I'm talking about.
Dan, it'll be fun.
It will be fun. It's going to be a good time.
Me and Mike will do
it. Yeah, Dan, you don't have to help. That's fine. If you want to sit around, I'll just set up my camera and have videos of hours of Dan just sitting there not helping after I basically went and renovated his shop. No, this week has been a lot of the CNC has been a lot of my focus this week. I have called Pete a lot. I've called Bao a lot. I've called a few people a lot this week, just getting ideas. Today, Pete and I learned that my CNC is not 4x8. It's actually 51. It's 51 inches by 101 inches.
I can't believe you got away with it. You ripped off Laguna. They gave you more than
they
you paid
gave me
for.
extra size. No, it's my bed is 4x8. The actual spoil board is 4x8, but the cutting distance is actually 51 inches by 101 inches. So, which is, I'm not complaining. I have more space. I have more cutting size than I do bed, which is really nice. So, I've just been bouncing ideas off people for the spoil board and how I want to do that. There's some other stuff I can't really talk about. But there's some stuff coming with the CNC bed that's going to be I'm gonna be figuring out while Pete's here. We're just gonna be kind of doing a lot of hanging out, programming, and just doing stuff in the shop. It's gonna be a good time.
I can't wait. We're gonna do so many fun things.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
We're gonna strap Dan to the CNC and just carve around him.
Just
Just carve out a perfect
Dan.
Or we'll do a super slow file where like
guy in the street with the chalk line.
We'll do it like 007 style, where like he's strapped to the bed and the CNC slowly approaching his crotch.
That sounds wonderful.
I don't think that's a good idea.
We'll turn it off. It's fine.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
You.
I trust you. Implicitly.
This file goes across his leg.
I'm trying to find out if we actually have the logo in a format I can use on the CNC. Doesn't look like we
you
do.
can. You can make any format.
Now's a good time to do
CNC. This is what you call Pete tomorrow. Call Pete tomorrow. He's going to help you out with it.
Well, we'll just do it when you're here. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Just doing CNC stuff, learning that, getting some orders out, still trying to like rejigger in the shop. I drew up some plans for 3 carts I'm going to make. I'm going to throw my spindle sander on a cart, my disc sander on a cart, and my Craig Foreman on a cart. They're going to be more for storage than anything. They're going to be on casters so I can move them around the shops. But those 3 items are going to live in the CNC shop is what I'm calling it. So there's the main shop and then there's the CNC shop. But that's kind of been my week. It's been really nice to be back in my actual shop. I don't know if I talked about this last week, but I'm just so excited about my shop. And like Dan was saying about excited about the future, I'm like, this last week has been really, really crazy. I'm just so excited about the future and Coffee Custom Builds. I'm so excited about it right now. This whole week's been really good. Really good leads are coming in. Really good orders are coming in. Really good inquiries are coming in, stuff that I really want to do. I'm very excited about the future of Coffee Custom Builds right now. So it's been a really, really, just a really good week. Just feels really good. So
the CNC opened up a lot of doors. Really nice.
I like that CNC landed and it was just like inquiry after inquiry, and it's just really good. So
listen, it's not just like you're putting in work. You're reaching out. You're doing.
No, yeah, I'm reaching out for sure. Yeah. Like I was telling Pete, I live in this foothill area and there's a lot of sawyers. They actually do a lot of log slabbing in this area. There's a lot of people who just kind of do that for fun as like a side hustle. Yeah. And I've reached out to 4 of them so far, and 4 of the 5 have said they want to use me for slab flattening, which is amazing. Nice. One guy, I don't even know how I didn't know about this guy. I reached out. I didn't reach out as a cold call. I actually reached out because I want to build my wife for our living room. I want to do a walnut slab with a crotch for a coffee table. That's what I want. I want a crotch. I want some walnut slab crotch.
We all want crotch.
We all want a little crotch.
It's just crotch life. So I've been calling around to these hashtag crotch life, fantastic, hashtag 8-quarter. But it's
Oh god.
Hashtag crotch life or hashtag Dan. Get a pen and paper. Hurry. We're gonna forget.
Get your fat Sharpie, Mike.
Get your fat Magnum Sharpie. Write it on like a piece of like alder or something. On a dollar bill, yes. No,
oh god.
What was I saying? Oh, so I reach out to this Facebook Marketplace slab listing, which if you don't know, they're never dry. They're never what they say they are. It's never a good price. They're just crazy prices.
Oh my god, Dan.
So I reached out to him. I was like, hey, how dry are these slabs? She said they're all like 15 to 12%. I was like, it's kind of wet for out here. So, but I said I am willing to grab one and sit on it for a little bit and let it dry because I don't need to build this thing right away. I'm just looking for a black.
Does it dry faster when you sit on it?
Yeah, it's the farts.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I I have like a black tarp that I have in my side yard that gets a lot of morning sun.
Oh,
And it actually,
Jesus.
if I throw wood underneath there, the way I have it propped up, it gets real hot underneath that thing. It dries wood quick.
Like a little kiln you got there.
It's basically a solar kiln. So anyway, I was like, hey, you know, she said basically they didn't have the wood that I needed. They didn't have a walnut slab with crotch in it. I said, well, you know, let me know when you get something in. If I don't have anything by then, I'd like to get it from you. But if you ever need slab flattening services, would you let me know? She's like, oh my gosh, here's my husband's phone number. Give him a text right now. So I text the guy. They live 5 minutes from me. They've got like a couple acres, and like half of his property is dedicated to drying slabs. He's got tons of wood out there. He's got a Lucas mill and a bandsaw mill, and he just does slabbing. Like that's his thing. He just sells slabs. So he's got tons of slabs. So this is a great connection I've made with this guy, because I've got another slab, connection, and this guy needs slab flattening services all the time, and he has no machine for it. He's like, nice. I'm doing a table for my wife, and I was gonna flatten the whole thing with hand planes. I was like, what?
What kind of crazy person does that?
Yeah.
It's like
everyone before 2000.
Right.
Everyone did it with hand planes or router sleds.
It was anyway, so it was a good connection to make. I'm making some good connections with some of these guys. So I'm trying to drum up business for the CNC, which is awesome, and then just overall drum up business for Coffee Custom Build. So long story short, I'm very, very excited for the fall and winter of this year, and then next year, 2021, I'm just really pumped for. I'm really excited about it. I'm really upbeat about it. I'm really looking forward to all the things that happen. I'm just really exciting times right now. So
that's great, dude.
I think that's
awesome.
I think that's kind of it right now. That's it for my week. I mean, should we just jump into questions, or do we have something
let's do it.
Discuss? I mean,
we're 30 minutes in. Let's do it. I did.
I don't know.
Yeah, I talked about the video and how much.
That's right. The what now? Yeah. Okay, let's get into questions. Hey, for reals, Pete. Good job getting your video out.
Yeah,
thanks, man.
It really was.
Feel good.
Dude,
isn't it so rewarding?
So here's the thing. I have this like constant like thought of like I have this looming thing over me I have to get done, and it was the video, and now it's done, and I'm like, I have something that I have to get done.
Maybe it was the wedding. I need to get married.
No, it was the wedding. That's nothing. Yeah, it was the video. It was content creation key.
Content creation is number one focus. Get it done.
This is number one focus right here.
Gotcha.
The wedding was gonna happen either way. Oh, yikes. I forgot Emma listens to this.
Oh, whoops.
I love you, baby. I love you, my wife. I can
baby
say
boo.
that now. baby boo.
No, but seriously, weird. Really good job, dude. That was really good. I'm glad you got that out.
Can you put your glasses back on? You look really weird without them.
No. In the bottom? All right, this first question.
Weird without them.
Oh, I thought you said in the bottom. I was
You look really weird on the bottom.
Put your glasses on. You look weird in the bottom.
Your butt looks funny. Put your glasses on.
Hey, this first question. It's from Adam Barnett. He has a question about woodworking.
Hey guys, Adam Barnett from Barnett Custom Woodworks here. Hopefully I'm sending you a better file. Sorry for all the technical problems I keep causing. I just want to be friends with you guys, but I'm becoming such a nuisance.
Nah, dog.
Anyway, I have a question about beginning woodworking. What were some of the big mistakes that you guys made early on that you would do differently if you had the chance, or would tell new woodworkers, hey, don't make this giant mistake that I did? What mistake would that be? Thanks. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. Bye.
Didn't we essentially answer this in the pre-show?
We did,
Dan,
but let's answer it again.
Yeah, Dan, go ahead.
I don't remember what I said in the pre-show, so
you were pretty
I will
drunk.
say, don't do any of the things. Just do everything different. Don't get into woodworking. It's a pit of despair. Just don't do it.
Still get into woodworking. That's your lesson. Just get away from it. And
I don't know. I've never really thought about it. You know, I know we pre-listened to this, and my memory is short because I'm old. But
somebody wasn't listening.
I don't listen to you guys. I don't even know your name.
I'm Mike.
Fantastic.
I don't have a good answer. Somebody else go and I'll think.
You have to be able to learn from things to answer this question.
I don't learn from anything because I I'm perfect from the get-go. Like I'm perfect out of the gate.
I drive a Silverado. I need
with
to
a
find
tonneau
that
cover.
Kind of a big deal.
I need to find that skit from Saturday Night Live where it's Will Ferrell. He's like, I drive a Dodge Stratus. I'm gonna look that up now. Pete, answer the question.
So as I answered in the pre-show, because I remember my answer. Nice, Dan.
No.
Nice.
I don't remember
For
your
me,
answer either.
it was a set of frames I made, and basically the lesson I learned is price your stuff. Don't just throw a number out there to get a sale. Learn your damn value, because I made these beautiful walnut frames. We're kind of trying to figure out the size. I think they're about between 24 and 30 inches wide and like 40 inches tall, 2.5 inch wide walnut frames with nice little maple key in them to kind of hold it all together. I didn't realize how much glass costs. I thought glass was like free. They just gave it out. Like you just go places and they're like, oh yeah, just take that. That's extra. Glass was expensive. So I basically ended up doing this whole thing for like $250 or something. And I delivered it. And luckily it was just family, so I wasn't super upset about it. But I definitely like lost a lot of money. This is the job. When I talked about earning negative hours or money for my hours worked, this is the job. Because I put so many hours into this to finish it and make it look pretty. And they look beautiful. They're still hanging up. They were like, oh my God, I can't believe you were able to make these for like $250. We literally got a quote for $1,500. And I was like, I should have charged more. I was so mad at myself.
Could have at least went half.
But I didn't know. I was super undervaluing myself because I was just happy to have business. This is just right around where it was like all kind of taking off. And I was saying yes to everything. Oh, you want that with pine? You want it to be like dark wood? Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do anything for money. I'm a little piggy. Whatever. Like I've luckily learned my value now. I now quote realistic prices or sometimes extravagant prices because I don't want to do the job. And when they say yes, I go, well, at least I won't hate myself doing it. So that's my lesson learned. What about you, whoever hasn't spoken yet?
That'd be me.
Mike?
It's the same thing. It's the same answer as you. I mean, it's undervaluing work. It's the thing that I constantly have to deal with. I mean, you don't really know until you have a bunch of projects under your belt. It's just one of those things where you're not going to come out of the gate and be like, I know exactly what to price this piece for. So just something you're just gonna have to learn over doing it. I mean, every time you take on a new type of project that you haven't done, there's just too many variables for you to be good at it. So, I mean, to be good at pricing it, you can kind of figure your way through building it, but pricing it is going to be like, you don't know how long everything takes on those things. So it's like a gamble. So I think that definitely pricing things out is the thing where I'm constantly like, yeah, I should have gone with my gut on that one. Dan?
I mean, you're kind of relearning it with the CNC right now.
Nope. I already know everything.
Oh,
no.
you know
what do you mean? Elaborate.
With the pricing, kind of like figuring out.
Oh, yes, 100%. I don't know. Yeah. Like I had a bunch of conversations. It's a new medium. Yeah. Over the last week, that was part of getting like me calling people being like, hey, I actually called local shops before having my CNC asking for different services that I was looking to price up to add into jobs so I could have that number handy. And so luckily I'd already kind of like done some market analysis on some of these things prior to getting, because I didn't have a CNC. So I needed to know how much I could, like if I needed an engraving done, how much can I anticipate needing to put into a quote for a customer? I hadn't done that to like get their price so I could price them out or anything like that. I did that so I could price it out for my quotes, but now I have a CNC, so I kind of know what the rates are locally. And I've bounced the numbers I came up with off of other people. And I kind of have like a ballpark fair range where I can comfortably charge. So yeah, 100%. You're right. I'm learning how to price out that new, it's a whole nother ball. It's not, I don't want to go into the CNC as woodworking conversation. It's a new thing. It's like a whole, it's its own entity. A CNC work is its whole other thing. So Dan, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that I agree with what you both said. But with this last project, the walnut desk that everybody knows about by this point, I still need to learn how to figure out how long something's going to take me. I have that formula that I've talked about in the past, 3 times material plus 10%. but that doesn't quite work out with very large projects. It didn't work
Time
out
sucks.
at all.
Yeah.
I underpriced myself quite a bit.
It doesn't work out
with that project.
It doesn't work out for anything over like $200 projects, I think.
Yeah,
or $300 projects.
it really doesn't.
Maybe $400 projects, but I think it starts to get like, once you start getting into like several $100s, it just doesn't work anymore. You have to be able to like estimate your time, which is what Dan's saying right now. I mean, you got to be able to like factor in your hourly rate that you want to charge, but you really have to. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the pricing it. It's the same thing. Like Dan's talking also about like how long it takes to physically do something, but it all kind of works together. Like if you don't know how long it takes you to do something, you don't know how much to charge for it. Right. Also, there you have to factor in what's a reasonable, like if you've never done it before, you can't just necessarily charge what it's going to take you to do it. You need to charge what it's going to take, what's fair for them to have to pay you to learn how to build that thing. So
that's
like
kind of a thing that I'm running into.
That's a good way to put it.
I do a lot of things that I've never done before. I don't do a lot of repeat projects, so it's
you did in Omaha.
It's all kind of like a crapshoot. Like, how long do I think this is going to take me? Well, when I initially bid that walnut desk, I was like, I think I could probably knock that out in 6 to 8 weeks. Well, it ended up taking me like 5 months, actually.
Well, so this is kind of a good analogy for it. I was talking to a few people and I was asking about the rates for the CNC, and the machine matters. Like I have a 3 horsepower spindle. There's 7 horsepower spindle machines out there. They can do work X, times faster than my machine can because they're bigger, right? So you can't just charge the same hourly, like a Shapeoko can't charge the same hourly rate as a 3 horsepower spindle. A 3 horsepower spindle can't charge the same hourly rate as a 7 horsepower spindle. The bigger machine can charge more per hour because it's going to take less time for the work to get done. Yep. So if I'm Mike Coffee and I want to build a ginormous walnut desk, there's going to be a lot of things, because I've never built one. There's going to be a lot of time spent of me learning how to build that desk. Well, I can't just charge the customer for that. I need to charge what the actual rate should be for that desk. So there's also, you can't just not charge them for your time. You have to make money. You got to pay your fan. You got to, put food on your table. So,
and like in this case, delivery, like that was big too. I mean, luckily they covered that. They covered that cost.
Yeah, they covered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's so many factors into everything. All these different, almost every build has these outliers that is different from every other build. And then then if you're doing like installs and stuff, that's like a whole nother realm.
That's a whole
like if you're doing like built-ins and stuff, man, that's like, I mean, you got to get different insurances. You got to have probably a different business structure. You probably should be an LLC. I mean, you've got to have definitely new insurance. So there's all these different factors. And then labor just to put it in, like you built. Yeah, we'll wrap it up. I see your finger. Anyway, so
there's a lot in this subject. That's why I'm just like,
so the next question is from Adrienne Vita. This is
never heard of her.
Question about woodworking.
Hey guys, so I wanted to know, whenever you go to use your router, what is the go-to tip that you're gonna grab for? That sounds terrible. Anyway, this might actually only be applicable to Dan now, since everybody else has a CNC. Anyhow, Dan, I'm with you. I don't have a CNC. I still have to use my router. So can you let me know, what is the go-to tip?
I mean, I'll just jump in. No, Dan, I'll go. You calm down. I mean, I still use my router. I still have to use my router even though I have a CNC. There's just things that, like running an edge profile, it's just going to make more sense on my router than it is to set up a drawing or a tool path for like an edge, like a chamfer or a roundover. It doesn't make sense. So the bit I probably use the most on my router is going to be my flush trim bit. Like I have this monster flush trim bit. I use it a lot. So Dan, what tip do you grab the most?
What tips does Dan have?
Here's my hot tip. These are router bits. That's my hot tip. Dan's hot tip. They're called router bits, Adrienne. Love you.
That's phoned it in big time.
So Dan didn't hear the question.
Right.
No. I know the question. I know the question. And the
answer is this.
The most
and I'm going to get to it.
Don't ever, for any reason, ever, whatsoever. Thank you.
At any time, doesn't matter how bad you want it.
The most used router bit that I use is probably my chamfer bit. I have a CMT 45-degree chamfer bit that I use a lot. I prefer a chamfer over a roundover any day of the week, but every now and then a client or whatever will prefer a roundover. So that's probably my most used router bit. Pete, did you already answer? I wasn't here.
Well, I'm gonna do the Dan and Mike combo. It's flush trim and chamfer bit. I use one. I think it's a 3/4 inch chamfer bit or 1 inch chamfer bit because it goes anywhere from just a tiny little chamfer profile #team chamfer to a nice big handle on a cutting board. Which this is my specialty. I don't know if you guys knew that. Anyways, but yeah, it's those two, and I actually use my to kind of play on her question. I use my flush trim. I have an 1/8 inch, I think, or maybe it's a 1/4 inch flush trim bit that I use on my CNC a lot to cut tabs off of stuff because it leaves a nice clean.
You do it on your CNC?
Not on the CNC. No. I mean, like once I take a piece off the CNC.
Oh, anything. So you do it off the CNC, the opposite of on the CNC.
Anything I put off the CNC, Michael. Okay, you just came into this world. You can't make jokes about it yet. All right. God, we get a little hate on freaking TikTok. But I use the flush trim bit a lot, that little one, because I cut tabs off and any of the edges that need a little bit of cleanup. And actually, I'm gonna throw this one out there too. This goes out to Paul Jackman. A 1/64th roundover bit is
Good
perfect.
Lord, what's the point?
Or like a 1/37.
Just run your finger over
it. It's either 32nd or something. It does a super smooth, nice cleanup around the edges instead of like sanding by hand.
I mean, you could do that. You could do that with a little 320 sanding block. Just done.
I just do a quick pass with that. I'm done. I like it. It's a nice little round over in it.
All right.
So that's it. So you asked for 1, you got 3. Anyways, next.
This next question is from Kevin Hemphill with Lefty's Woodshop. We technically own his shop, and he
Lefty?
is in.
Oh, is he the kid from the Make-A-Wish Foundation that we brought on the show?
Oh, God.
I love you, Kevin.
That was so good. All right.
Hey, Kevin from Lefty's Woodshop here. You know me. Anyway, Pete starting his YouTube video this week, or making one, I should say, got me wondering, like, what are the main elements you want to have in a YouTube video? I need to get my first one out there, too. So, thanks, guys. Appreciate the show. Appreciate you. And appreciate my guest spot. Anyway, see ya.
I'd say hold
on, it's going to be 20 years from now. We're still going to be doing the podcast because we're awesome.
Right.
And Lefty's still going to be calling in and going, hey, guys, you remember,
Thanks for having me on the show.
I was on, when I was a guest? Remember?
By the way, we all love Kevin like a
do.
brother. Like, he's the man. That's the only reason I made that joke.
I'm thinking show title in there somewhere. I'm thinking about it.
Lefty's Wish.
I'm writing that in right now. Oh my God. Oh.
So Kevin asked what's like important in a YouTube video, and that's to have video.
That's pretty important.
No. I mean, the important thing is, I'm far from an expert on making YouTube videos. What I've learned is pace, a coherent narrative, very good audio, because audio will turn people away quicker than video will turn people, like bad audio will make people go away quicker than bad video. So if you even have if you have fantastic cinematic shots and your audio sounds like caca, people will bounce out. Uh-oh, Dan, you look concerned. Is everything okay? Okay, good. Last time I seen that face, we lost your audio. So
I was sweating.
Yeah. No, you just gotta have, there's a lot of things to it, but you want to just kind of tell a story a bit. This sounds so cliche. God. But I mean, really, you want good audio is number one. You want a pace that's quick. Like, no one really wants to see you making every cut for a piece. No one cares. You can assume a little bit of intelligence from the viewer in terms of what you're doing, like them being able to figure out what you're doing. You can't assume that they're actually going to respond in a smart way, but you can assume that they're going to be able to figure out, like, oh, you made this one cut, but they're not gonna be like, hey, how'd you get all those other cuts done? They're gonna know that you cut everything else, like, yeah, off screen. They're gonna be able to figure that out. So it's just, you want to move things along quickly. Like, too many shots of the same cut over and over again, it's just so boring. So anyway, now that Pete's an expert on YouTube, I think we should go straight to Pete.
Absolutely.
All right, well, but okay, so as a first time YouTuber, like, I'll give you my process for how I did this. First of all, I was forced to shoot all of it in one day, which is actually kind of a nice thing, because it forced me to record all of the video at once. And
you're wearing the same clothes.
Yes, that's continuity. Yeah, continuity is big. I legitimately, yeah, because I've shot several videos. I've only published one. Yes, I'm that lazy. And there's times where I wouldn't record. I'd be like, oh, I can record this part right now, but that shirt's in a wash. I can't really do it right now. You laugh because you've done it.
Yes.
Or you just wear Coffee Custom Build shirts,
yes,
the same one over and over again. So my process was, the first thing was actually shooting all the video. And I cannot recommend this enough, because I wish I had done this beforehand. Have a shot list. Have the things you actually want to show.
That's a good point, Pete.
Like, honestly, every video since I recorded that one, when I recorded that one about the one I just posted, the bar build, I recorded that about 2 and change months ago. And since then I've recorded 2 more, and I've made a shot list, and it made things so much smoother. I knew exactly what I needed to take a shot of. I wasn't just recording hours of video. But basically, have a shot list, get everything organized.
That is really good advice. Like, if you come in with like an outline for your video, that's really good advice. And that's something I never do.
I've never done, and now here's the thing. Now that I've edited my footage, I just thought about, I always joke around about past Peter and future Peter. Past Peter doesn't know how to record video. He just threw 12 hours of video at me, and half of it was trash. The light exposure was terrible because it kept being sunny and not sunny. And then I had to sit there and fix it in a couple hours. So think about what you're going to be looking for when you're editing. If you're only looking for, like Mike said, the one shot of cutting the board, and then you have 54 more boards to cut of the same size or whatever, because you're apparently making a slatted something, you don't need to do a shot of all that. Meanwhile, I recorded 30 minutes of me making the same cut over and over again. So save yourself the time, short, quick cuts.
I'm very guilty of that. I'll be like, man, I have like 50 minutes of me making plywood cuts that no one cares about. It's just like, you know what?
You just show 2 of them for 5 seconds each.
Yeah. Yep.
That's it.
Yep. And you're going to save yourself editing time. You're going to save yourself. You're going to have a better story. Go ahead, Pete. Sorry.
No, so I'm just taking you through my process. And again, absolute noob. I'm literally giving you the noob version of this. I got my footage. I kind of narrowed it down. I ended up with about 15, 16 minutes of video with just a little like background track music, and then just the stuff I wanted to show in order. And then I started watching it and recording my voiceover. And I cannot tell you what a difference dropping voiceover into your video makes. I dropped it in there, and I was literally cutting entire sections out because I was like, this is just dead air. Why am I showing 6 versions of the same cut over and over again? Get it out of here. So the voiceover really helps. So if if you're a person who likes to write stuff down, write out what you'd want to say for the different scenes. But watching some of your rough cuts will help you edit in the rest, at least for me, once you get the voiceover. That's it. I got my video down to 9 minutes from like 15, 16 minutes just by adding voiceover. And I think it's pretty fire, like garbage fire, but it's still fire.
Well, it's not garbage fire. It's a pretty good video.
Yeah, it's like,
especially
like,
for your first video. It's really good.
I'm very proud of it. I gotta say,
jealous.
I was very scared of posting it because I am the biggest critic of myself. But these two guys have probably done the most to motivate me to actually get this out. So I appreciate it. Anyways, Dan, what about you? What do you do for your videos?
I don't know if I'm in any position to add anything here. I haven't uploaded a video to YouTube in
Yeah, but you're monetized. You've done it. You're doing something right.
like 8 months. I don't know what I've done right. I had one video like pop off and I got lucky. So I don't know jack. People ask me like, what should I be doing? I don't know. I have no freaking idea. I got lucky one time. I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I had the answers. I don't know anything. I'm sorry.
I think sometimes, and this isn't to talk down about your video. I think sometimes you do just get lucky on YouTube. I mean, it happens on every
absolutely
platform.
do.
I mean, there's
I don't put voiceovers over anything. It's just process stuff. It's just woodworking. It's very blah. And I realize I need to step it up, but I've gotten lucky. Period.
Don't sell yourself short. You've got some good videos out there. And here's the thing, like talking over your video, like if you just do not instead of doing voiceover, just talking about what you're doing, it's fine. I watch plenty of videos where people just talk over what they're doing.
Yeah, you know, I go back and I look at people that I really look up to, and not that I don't look up to them anymore, but I look back and I go, man, this is a very, very simple format. And I think there's something to be said about overproducing your videos. I think there's people who I talk to who are like, man, I put all this time into it. I did this, and this, and it looks so good. And it does look really good. But I mean, the audience, your core audience is woodworkers. They kind of just want to like jump in, learn something real quick and jump out.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that sometimes content creators try to make movies for content creators. They try to make a video that's like really well produced and try to show off to their content creator buddies, when realistically content creators aren't your audience when you're a woodworker. So you don't need to like sweat it too much. You kind of need to think like, okay, I'm a dude who wants to learn how to use a joiner. Yeah. You don't need like, you just go in there and be like, this is how I use a joiner. I run the piece over the knives. You don't need like a bunch of music and fade ins and stuff like that. Isn't impressing a woodworker. That's impressing another content creator. And that's not really who you're going after.
Like
so
your first answer pretty much summed it up. It's you need video.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm going to be straight up honest. Like I try to like, I don't want to say emulate, but I take a lot of inspiration from Jimmy DiResta. He doesn't do any voiceovers. He just shows the video and it's sped up a little bit, you know, and it's just strictly video. And that's kind of the style that I like. And I'm like, that's the style that I like watching. So that's the style that I want to produce.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's good. That's good for this one. Let's jump into this next.
Plus, it's the easiest that I'm lazy. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Good question, Lefty.
This question's from Nick Pacia.
Hey guys, Nick from the Working Grain. I got a question today about the holiday season coming up. Obviously, it's not too far away, but I was just wondering how much you guys ramp up production for the anticipation of increased orders. Is there a number that you guys shoot for, or is it more of just kind of crank out as much product as you can? In addition, I got a craft fair coming up, and I've kind of been leaning towards just batch out as much product as possible. But I was just wondering, you know, how much do you guys account for additional product to make sure that you have enough? Thanks, guys.
Pete.
I'm sorry, Nick. Did you not start making cutting boards for this season last Christmas? Because that's standard procedure.
The Petrie's way.
Yeah, the Peaches way. This is the way. But in all reality, this is the time to start. Whatever you're doing, whatever you usually make, I always say, listen, if you can afford it, make a couple extra, make a little bit of stock so that you can have some pieces to just sell, to then buy more wood, to make other projects. But you start September, October. If you're in late October, if you hit Halloween, you're taking orders and you're slammed with orders, you're a little too late. This is the time to really start. And you'll be surprised how quickly the next 3 months run, because fun fact, I've done usually in my wood shop, I do most of my sales between September and December. I sell all my stuff that usually covers all the costs that all the other stuff didn't cover throughout the year. I can make up my entire year of buying new fancy tools in just 3 months. So it's the time to do it. Make some stock of the stuff you usually make. People will buy it. If they don't, guess what? You got a nice little piece in the house, an extra cutting board, extra bottle opener. That's how I do it. What about you, Dan?
I don't do a whole lot of that little tchotchke stuff. So I will add on to what Pete is saying. So whenever I get a big order, I will add a little extra material to the order, so I can make a cutting board or a bottle opener, and I can pass those off as gifts. It's such a simple thing. But other than that, like I don't do a whole lot of ramping up and stuff like that. So because I do a lot of big custom orders. What about you, Mike?
I've only had one season under my belt of like the holiday rush, so I'm not like a pro. Like last year was pretty intense. It was real busy. I was able to, like Pete said, buy some nice tools as a result of the holiday season, but I probably won't ramp up early this year. I don't think it's bad advice on Pete's part. It just makes sense. I know for me, I kind of like pressure. Like I kind of like a bit of stress. It keeps me motivated pretty well. So that's kind of just my style. But one really cool thing is the thing I'm going to sell the most if I get into that again this year is probably cutting boards. But I have a machine that can batch them out for me now. So I'm not like overly stressed about those things. I can lay down a huge panel and it can cut them out for me while I'm doing, watching Mandalorian season 2 or whatever. So it's going to be, so it's just kind of one of those things where I don't want to spend money to have overhead in my shop. Like I don't want to have cutting boards sitting in my shop. I don't want to have, stuff taking up space. That's just not for me. If you have the ability to have the stuff taking up space, then that's good, but that's just not my thing. So, I probably won't. I do have a huge order, pretty tentatively right now from a customer. I need to actually work up a quote and see, make sure they're going to be good on that. But, other than that, I'm not going to do the early rush. I'm just going to kind of take it as it comes, because the last thing I want is to make a pile of cutting boards and then just be sitting on a pile of cutting boards because I don't have the space for it.
Like a fool.
I just don't have the space for it. I just don't. I don't want to deal with it.
I totally took that as a stab at Pete.
It was not.
And here's the thing.
Pete has the ability to do it. He can do whatever he wants.
Oh, I'm going to sell all those in this Christmas. But here's the thing. This is very important. Are you guys listening? Nick,
no,
listening? Okay. Hang on. Not you guys. You guys know this.
Oh, okay.
I can go
Nick,
get
are you
a drink?
listening? Go get a drink. Go get a drink. You don't have to make stuff for the holidays. Make some gifts for family and friends so you don't have to buy them anything. And then don't sell anything. It's okay. You don't have to also do the order. I mean, if you want to do that, that's fine. But you know what? Spend some time with your family instead of in a shop too. Just saying. I spent way too many Christmases in the shop pumping out orders when I should have spent it in the house.
Nah, dog, grow your business. Capture that revenue.
Family time. Classic Pete and Mike disagree.
Get your family in there and have them help you.
Actually, no, he does have a good point. If you're gonna do family time, get him in there. I've Emma help me out. Right, should we do a giveaway or another question?
Yes, please.
We're done with our Patreon questions, so let's go to Dan. Throw this over to Dan.
So last week was week 15.
Yeah.
week 15.
Crazy.
Week 15 of the Macbeth giveaway. And we gave away the Micro Jig MF1004 Dado Stop Pro, which was a $55 value.
Nice.
It's a sweet jig, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want that one.
Yeah, me too, actually. The winner was Matt Wackerly, and I am really
Congratulations, Matt.
sorry if I'm butchering your name, but your name should totally be Matt Wackerly. I've already reached out to him. Congratulations, Matt. Week 16, ladies and gentlemen, sponsored by Macbeth Hardwood. We are giving away a Star Bond package, which includes a 2-ounce thin, a medium thick, and a 6-ounce Accelerator bundle. It's a
Nice.
$40 value.
Damn.
And there's
Not
a
bad at all.
lot of people in the woodworking community that have used Star Bond, and they know how great it is. So
Mhm.
Once you have the
People-
Accelerator in there, it's
yeah,
dude. Oh,
fantastic for small little gaps and knots and fills. So yeah, that's the prize this week. And this week's code phrase is written on this dollar bill I got here, and that is hashtag crotch life. You have to include the hashtag. It is necessary.
Oh, geez.
For all you old folk, hashtag is a number sign or a pound sign.
I thought it was croc life, like you're wearing Crocs. Okay.
Crotch life. Hashtag crotch life. You need to send that to us in a DM on our IG page, Another Woodshop Podcast, or you need to send it to an email, anotherwoodshoppodcast@gmail.com.
Boom.
Thank
Boom.
you.
Nailed it.
Back to the
That's
show.
it.
Back to your regularly scheduled show. So this next question, it's from Ash with Woodwork and Whiskers. We all love him.
Love
He's
Ash.
a great guy. He's got a
Takes
great
things
ash.
very well.
He's got a great ash.
Hey
He's missing a
guys,
finger.
Ash from Woodwork and Whiskers from Metric Australia. I've just recently got a new bandsaw,
Yeah.
a big ass bandsaw,
BAB.
and so I'm finally going to be able to do some resawing, which I've never done on a bandsaw before. Do you have any tips for
Just the tips.
resawing on a bandsaw? Greatly appreciate your help. Cheers, guys. Keep up the awesome work.
Who's this going to?
Mike.
Oh, me. Definitely make sure that your fence is 90 degrees to your table. Make sure first, though, that your table is 90 degrees to your blade. And then make sure that you are not pushing the piece through the blade too fast, because your blade will drift and it will throw off your resaw real bad. You want to make sure that your guides are properly adjusted in the right spot in reference to, so when your blade comes out to a point, that's the point. When it goes in, some call it the valley or whatever, the dip or whatever. You want to make sure that your guide is right behind that valley.
Or gullet.
Yeah, gullet or a valley. You want it like right behind there. That is the stuff that helps. There's people who think that, where the blade is at on the urethane matters. I don't think you want it in a spot, but I don't think that affects your resaw. So, but I've found that just slow and steady is kind of the best way to do it. And man, I just love the bandsaw so much. It's just absolutely my favorite tool in my shop. I just love the bandsaw. It's so versatile. You can take a piece of wood that you couldn't use for a project and turn it into a piece of wood that you can now use for the project and use for another project. I love resawing. I just think it's so great. I just love bandsaws. It's my favorite. You can do so much stuff with it. If you have like a janky piece of wood that's bowed or something and you don't want to run it through your table saw because that thing's going to fall or grab the blade and it's going to be frightening, you just run it through the bandsaw because the blade isn't spinning towards you. It's pulling down. So it's just so safe and nice. I just love the bandsaw. It's my favorite, but I'm going to throw it over to Pete.
Oh, it's me. Hey, you said my name.
It's a me.
Okay, so
Pedio.
it's a me, Peter. It's a me, Piotr. It's just my Polish
Piotr.
name. Yeah, very nice. Very good. Good. So here's my tip. First thing, look up Alex.
Your boy.
I forgot his name.
Snodgrass.
Snodgrass.
Snodgrass. Thank you.
I was actually going to
Alex
say that.
Snodgrass
took my
for
answer.
setting
Thank
up
you
your
very much.
bandsaw. I'm sorry. I met him. We're best friends. I have his phone number. Just saying.
Oh,
Not
fine.
trying
dating.
to flex or anything.
We're
Yeah,
dating.
I drive a Subaru Crosstrek towing capacity 1500
I drive a Dodge Stratus.
That's a joke to the pre-show to an earlier show for those of you that are very confused right now. Anyways,
No one's
so
confused.
Mike actually talked about where your blade is placed on the rubber on the wheel. His thing is the tip of your blade should actually be on the center of the wheel, so it has the most tension there, because if you have it too far forward, the front of the blade is going to want to move, whereas the back of it is nice and steady.
I actually agree with that 100%.
Yep, there you go.
But I don't know that I've actually seen it affect it adversely if it's not there.
Yeah, you
but
just
I do.
haven't done it right.
Physics sound
It's okay.
right.
You just haven't done it right.
Anecdotally, I do the same thing because I think, but I don't know that it actually matters. But I do the same thing.
So just look up Alex Snodgrass bandsaw setup. Just search the video. You're gonna find a ton of videos from him, and they work. I've done it. The other thing I would highly recommend is, so Mike mentioned 2 of the 3 things you got to square up. It's your table to your blade, 90. What else did you say? Your
Fence to table.
to your fence to table, and then your fence to your blade.
Parallel.
Because depending on where you're at, and so this is Alex's family's company, Carter Guides. They actually it's a magnet that sticks to your blade, and it just kind of sits on the blade, and you square up your fence to it. What a lot of these bandsaws have, depending on how you set your blade could actually be a little off and not parallel. Even if your fence is parallel with the track that's running in your bandsaw, it may not be parallel with the blade. So what you can do is get a nice if you have a decent sized magnet in the shop, throw it on the blade. Take a combination square, just take just a ruler out and stick it onto the blade and let it just kind of level out, and then bring your fence up against that and square to that. That was my issue on my bandsaw, where I was resawing and it kept drifting to the right, and it turned out that my fence that I was setting up, that I was keeping along the track that was there, was actually off, and my blade was running a little off. So they make these little cool magnetic things. I'll link it in the show notes. I'll give them a shameless plug in there for Carter Guides. They work. It's an actual thing. I didn't think that the blade could deviate that much, but it can. But that's my little hot tip, Pete's hot tip. Dan, what do you got?
I don't have a big fancy bandsaw yet, so I don't know if I can add anything to this.
Yet?
My new bandsaw will land the day before I fly out to Mike's house. So
excited for you, dude.
Yeah.
So excited for you.
I have shared in my stories that I used to run a bandsaw for a furniture factory back in 1997. Yeah. But that doesn't mean I know how to set up a bandsaw. The company that I worked for set it up, so I didn't have to worry about it. So I don't have a whole lot to add. Listen to these 2 yahoos. That's what I got.
Perfect. Thank you so much. No, Ash, you're going to have a ton of fun with that thing. That thing's, I think he told me he got what is equivalent to a 3 horsepower bandsaw.
Yeah.
So
we got a big boy.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this next question is from a fella by the name of Jay the D from the Big IG.
Never heard
Hey
of it.
guys, it's Josh the Dad. Yep, Josh the Dad, one of the Big IG, coming at you with this week's question about ceramics and pottery. Just kidding, it's woodworking. But a couple weeks ago, I got rid of a workbench. It was kind of big, kind of bulky, and I wanted to kind of give myself a little bit more room and organize a little bit. So I went to Menards, got some cabinets, put a front, added some wheels, and threw in a countertop. And now I have a mobile workbench that, I feel pretty good about because it doesn't wobble. And I just got to thinking, wow, building shop furniture. And how does that work when garage floors, even though they're perfectly flat and level, yeah, whatever. How do you take care of that? Whether it's an outfeed table, assembly table, do you worry about just making each leg the same length, building a frame on the top, putting a frame on the bottom, making sure it's equal distant, perpendicular to each other, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be level technically, or do you worry about it mainly just being flat? Because when it sits on the garage floor, it's not going to be perfectly level. So do you have to add riser legs to it? Or do you not worry about it being level, just maintaining the aspect of flatness? So that's just kind of the weird things that roll around in my head. Hey, have a great week. Talk to you later.
Pete.
So here's one thing you need to know about workbenches and outfeed tables. You don't need them to be level. You need them to be flat. I'll never forget this. It was this one episode of I'll plug them here. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this little startup podcast. It's called Wood Talk. So Spagnuolo talked about the newest place he moved into and how the floor actually started. There was 2 slabs and the slab started slipping. So over time, it slipped like an inch and change.
Good Lord, really?
Yeah, it was bad. You have to I don't know if he re-leveled it or whatever, but it wasn't significant enough where it was impacting his work. But his whole thing was, as long as it's flat, as long as my outfeed is flat and dead flat with the table saw, that's all I care about. And it's true. The floors in my shop are atrocious, but my table saw to my outfeed table are dead flat to each other. They're not level. If I put a ball on there, it'd just roll off the table probably, because the floors in my house are just awful. The slab in my shop is literally cracked like a Y from 2 corners and a wall. It just goes to the center and everything just kind of dips. But the center table is flat. That's all that really matters. That's pretty much it. That's all I have. Dan?
Yeah, 100% agree. The floor in my garage, which is my shop, it's a 2-car garage. It's nowhere near flat. It's all over the place. You could either put leveling feet on it or do like I do and just use wedges to level it out. But yes, flatness is paramount. That's what you want to do. Don't worry about anything else. You can level it out another way, but you need to get that flatness. What do you think, Mike?
I mean, I can't elaborate on this anymore. All that matters is at the top that it's so.
We're paying you.
Flatness is the essence of moist. No, it just gotta be flat. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. You just gotta make it flat. I mean, my outfeed table happens to be level because I did put leveling feet on it, but it ultimately doesn't matter. I made it level because it was an outfeed from my table saw, which my table saw happened. The table saw base on my saw stop, the bottom of it is not level, but because of the way it rests on the actual base, it perfectly sits level. So I had to level out my outfeed. However, my miter saw has a tilt to it, probably 2 degrees, but across the reference point of the actual tabletop, it's perfectly flat. So it's a perfect reference point. It does its job. Leveling it doesn't add anything to me cutting a piece of wood in half. So I have nothing to add to it other than what I just added to it, which was amazing. So this next question is from Sean with Madewithmarks.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Sean, Madewithmarks on Instagram, formerly known as the Wood Wonder, but that was much more a question with my skill level than it was, a statement. So I changed it. Anyway, I got a question about gardening. So I got a buddy. He just actually released his first commercially available beer. It's a really good one. And I wanted to commemorate it for him by building him something. I was thinking cornhole boards. And I was going to put his logo on the face of it there. I guess my problem is his logo is extremely extravagant, and I'm not really sure how to replicate it once, let alone do it twice and make it look exactly the same. I was thinking vinyl. I was thinking, trying to figure out a way to stencil it on there and paint it. But I kind of wanted your input. What do you think is the best way to go about getting a logo on a board? And preferably the cheapest way as well. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate the podcast. Appreciate everything you do. Have a good one.
Dan?
I think vinyl sticker would be your cheapest and easiest route. Someplace like Sticker Beat, I know other places do it. But I think that'd be your easiest bet. I don't think it's that expensive to get a vinyl slap on logo. I don't know the term.
No, that's what they're called in the catalogs. Vinyl slap on logos.
Nailed it.
Yeah, and you could get like a spray to like adhere it and then like put a finish over it, and it would be like perfect. What do you think, Pete?
Go on Facebook.com and find Shapeoko or CNC groups, just US groups, and you can actually see local posts from them. The other thing you can do is go into your marketplace and just search CNC or vinyl, and you will find people offering their services locally if you want to do that. So Dan's choice is great. You can go through a company, like you can get it done easily, but if you just need 2 of them cut, maybe you don't want to spend a whole ton. Maybe you got, a young, dumb Pete with a CNC that's just willing to just give free work away, basically. Oh, that, you want a logo, the giant logo on this piece of wood? That's $10. Whatever. Come over and drink my beer too. No, it wasn't that cheap. But like, basically, people, especially people starting out, they want to get stuff. They want to practice. They want to do stuff. If you're sending them a logo and they can just cut it out and get practice doing it and offer you a service locally, that's a good way to do it. Because keep in mind, you don't always need to go through a big company. I recommend it. It's great. But you can get a lot of really good experiences from startups, guys that are just starting out in their shop or doing it on their side. And if they have a Cricut machine, guess what? You're set. That's all they need. They put the picture in their Cricut and it cuts it all out, or they put that piece of wood in their CNC and it cuts it all out. And you need fairly minimal experience for that. So search your local marketplace. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the only way you're going to perfectly reproduce it is through digital means, through some sort of digital production. I mean, you're going to have to, I guess it's not true. Technically, you can do it by hand, but why?
Scroll saw.
It just doesn't. If you want to do that, then do it. You're probably not going to have an exact replica on both sides. But that's
you could brag
fine.
about it being handmade,
right? You can be like, it's handmade.
Yeah,
so I don't know that. I think your only real option is to go to some sort of digital manufacturing if you really want it to be perfect. So, and that's not going to be free, but it's not going to be like crazy expensive. So, just depends on how much money you want to put in on this thing. For me, it's always like time too. Like, just because you didn't pay someone to do it doesn't mean it was cheaper. Like, if you do something by hand and it took you 12 hours to make something that you're going to pay a guy $110 or $125, and he saved you 12 hours, that's an insane savings. Like, how much value does your time have? So you really need to think about those things a lot. It's really important. Like, for me right now, I couldn't even imagine spending 12 hours on something like that. That's how long it would take. Like, realistically, it's just not an option. I just have too many things going on. So, and you may not, which is dope. Like, that'd be really nice.
Granted,
like,
if they might have the time to them.
If you have the time and you like want to do it, then just like freaking do it, man. But for me, it's just like not a chance. Like, I don't have that kind of time. So, and that's not a flex. That's like, how did I get in this situation kind of a thing? Like, seriously, send help. But anyway, it's like, but yeah, seriously. You got to think about weigh the pros and the cons and what's most applicable to your life and what you're going for. So, I think that's our show.
What?
Last question. Yeah. So
I was just getting comfortable.
Oh,
put your pants back on. Yeah, no, that's the show. Pete, we didn't decide who's going to do the outro this week. Is it going to be you?
Debs.
I call you. Go.
Okay. Thanks for watching our show, guys. This has been great. Oh, was that not fire?
That was not fire.
No, but a huge shout out to our sponsor this week, and that is the patrons. Thank you so much to all of our patrons. You guys have been amazing. You've been supporting us, and we want to continue to bring you amazing content. And to continue doing that, make sure to subscribe on patreon.com/anotherwoodshop podcast, or support us individually on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, I guess, too. And
TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest. I got a Pinterest page.
I got a Pinterest page too now. Yeah. And definitely, hey, check, shameless plug. Check me out on YouTube, because those two already, they have people following them.
I really need just like you guys to watch a few more hours of view hours would be really helpful right now.
And yeah, go check out Mike. He's almost monetized. That'd be huge for him. And because here's the thing, the more all of this is worth to us, the more we're able to put out content for it, the more we care about it, the more we can bring to this community. And nothing brings more attention to our podcast than you guys sharing this podcast. Bring it up to your friends, your grandma, everyone. Your grandma's asleep, that's fine, on the couch watching TV. Cool. Just put on the podcast in the background. We're going to get a listen. That's all that matters. And if you feel like it, please leave a review, a 5-star review only. System's still broken, on either Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast catcher you use. And last but not least, please, I guess I had something else, but I think that's all I have, actually. I don't know.
Last but not least,
that was actually it. I'm kidding. Dan $5.
Send Dan $5. Yeah, check us out on Patreon. Leave a review. Share with a friend.
Well, if all our listeners send me $5, I'll have upwards of $35.
Yeah, and me and Mike are obligated to send money too. So that's the $10.
We're gonna get Dan those math classes pretty soon, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll teach you metric.
I guess that's it, huh? Wrap it. Ribbity wrap.
That's it. That's it.
All right, well, guys, we'll talk to you soon. We'll talk to you next week, and we're all going to be together next time we're doing this thing. So I cannot wait.
We need to talk about that.
What?
Well, after
I'm not coming.
This outro.
Oh. Bye.
Bye. Love you long time.
Love you long time.
Kill it.